One more year of Pep Guardiola, anyone? Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to another video. Yes, today's video is going to centre around this man right here, Pep Guardiola, the current manager of Manchester City, of course. And if reports are to be believed, he will be remaining on as Manchester City manager beyond the end of this season, as reports are circulating that it could be imminent, it could even be as this video is being uploaded, that the plans and everything is in works and in the motion to officially announce that Pep Guardiola has signed a new deal as the Manchester City manager to stay on one more year at the club. The Spaniard was heading into the final year of his current deal. He is into the final year of his current deal, I should say. And it was being speculated upon that he may be leaving at the end of this season. But if reports are to be believed, he is signing on for at least one more year, bringing him to what should be 10 years in the job at Manchester City. We're going to be talking about Guardiola, we're going to be talking about City and everything else in between in regards to this big news story. But before we go any further and talking about all of that, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things always and very greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section as well. Let me know your thoughts, your comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure will make for great and interesting reading down below. So please do get involved. We'd love to hear from you all on what you have to say on this big news story. Use and abuse that comment section, people. I would love to know what you have to say on this topic. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's talk Manchester City, Pep Guardiola, and the news that the Spaniard is staying on at the club for at least another year. So what we know of this story already is that Guardiola was entering into the final year of his current deal, shall we say. 2025, his original contract was set to expire, and he was probably going to be walking away from Manchester City, making it much bigger and much more successful than when, of course, he walked into it, which, to leave on your own terms and to leave the way that he has done, is a manager's dream, as well as obviously to achieve things. It's a manager's dream to be able to walk away knowing that you've left the club in a bigger, better place than when you first walked into it. And Guardiola was, of course, achieved it, and was going to obviously do that. Like, he is like a god to them. He is like a god to them fans. But with news in recent days circulating, allegedly, it is set to be announced imminently, whether at the time of recording, whether it be as this video is uploading, or whether this be in a matter of hours to come, or even a couple of days maybe, that Pep Guardiola is set to stay on as Manchester City manager until 2026, signing a new one-year deal at the club. Now, this is going to be jubilant news to a lot of Manchester City fans. This is going to be incredible for them that Guardiola is set to stay on as their manager. However, to me, that does seemingly suggest that, of course, that's it. One more year of Guardiola is all you're getting from him as of right now. Now, I know a lot of things can change in football in such a short space of time. I know there is the possibility that maybe he does decide to sign a bigger contract next season, and he's just weighing up his options and seeing where things lie after another year or so with the club. But to me, it seems that the rest of the Premier League only has to put up with Pep Guardiola for one more year, and then that's it. Done and dusted. And that will bring an end to what would be 10 years at the club. 10 years of Pep Guardiola and Manchester City, their rise to pure dominance, their achievements and everything else in between. Now, it's not obviously going to be a complete collapse from Manchester City afterwards. We will talk about that maybe later on down the line when Guardiola eventually does leave. But will they be as successful? Maybe, maybe not. Only time will, of course, tell on that. But what it will mean is that the Guardiola era does come to an end, and City will have to go on to find a new successor. And again, that will probably be another story for another day. But the likelihood is that that will happen. The likelihood is that 10 years is going to be it. Done and dusted for Guardiola. Probably several more years than a lot of people were expecting him to stay. But at the same time, it's been an incredible 10 years. 10 years of dominance, 10 years of achieving anything and everything that was thrown at him, 10 years of breaking records, achievements, amazing and incredible seasons. City fans have seen it all in the past 10 years. And they have this man to thank for that. Incredible seasons like the Centurions. Incredible seasons like the treble-winning seasons of domestic competitions, of all the big accolades that you can win, all the big trophies, the Premier League, the FA Cup, the Champions League, all in one season. Seasons of gaining 100 points. Seasons of winning multiple pieces of silverware. 4 Carabao Cups in a row. A couple of FA Cups thrown in there as well. Numerous Premier League titles, including, of course, winning 4 titles in a row. And currently going for a 5th this season. And of course, to top it all off, winning the one trophy that has eluded them and that they've wanted for a number of years. The Champions League, of course. All of those things have happened in the last 10 years under this man's management, and it has been absolutely phenomenal to watch from the outside looking in. Yes, there is a bit of an overshadowing of the 115 court case that is currently going on in the background, and only time will tell, but it's unlikely that this man had anything to do with it. It's before his time. Will it taint his achievements if it is found that City are guilty? Potentially, but there's no doubt about the kind of manager he is. Even his previous achievements at previous clubs like Bayern Munich, like Barcelona, are still phenomenal, to say the least. What has happened over the past 10 years has been nothing short of incredible for Manchester City and for Pep Guardiola. But it does, like I say, it seems like it's coming to an end. And like I say, things can change, and maybe he will stay on, but things are seemingly coming to an end. 1-year deal seemingly suggests to me that he's going to see where things lie and then make a decision. Or he's decided, you know what, I can't leave the club like this. I'm going to sign on 1 more year, and whatever may be, may be. Because, of course, there is the threat of relegation. There is the threat of being completely thrown out of the Premier League due to, how I said earlier, about the 115 court case that is going on in the background. If that is found to be guilty, then of course City will be out the Premier League faster than you can actually say 115. That is the threat to me. That is the threat to maybe even him, and maybe even a lot of Manchester City players, because a lot of them aren't going to be waiting around for another season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, 4 seasons, 5 seasons, depending on how far they go down the English football pyramid, to get back into a position where they are challenging for the top major honours of Premier League and Champions League. So I think he's signed a 1-year deal to kind of say to the fans, look, I'm committed. We're probably going to find an answer to the 115 court case at some point within that next year or year and a half. And then when we do, we'll see where Man City lies. But like I say, for Pep, I think it's about committing to at least another year with the club, seeing where City lie and going, you know what, I kind of owe it to the fans. I kind of owe it to them to stay on. And we'll see where we are when, of course, we know where we are. When, of course, everything does come out. Because, like I say, a manager of his stature, a manager with his pedigree, a manager with his resume, isn't, I don't think, going to want to battle back through every single league in the English football pyramid, or however far they fall down, to get back to where they currently are right now. I think time is not necessarily against him, but I don't think he would want to waste his time doing that. I think he'd want to jump ship. I also think that, you know, as I mentioned briefly earlier, he'd want to maybe find a new challenge elsewhere. I think he's stayed on at Manchester City a lot longer than what a lot of us thought he would. We looked at previous spells at like Barcelona and Bayern Munich and thought 4 or 5 seasons maybe at maximum, and then he's off somewhere else. He's stayed on double that amount of time as of right now. So maybe it's just about finding a new challenge for him. And yes, if Manchester City do get relegated, that would present a different challenge to him, one that he's never really faced before. But there are a few clubs out there that he can maybe look at and try and maybe rectify their position, or try and get them something that they're trying to achieve for a number of years. Instantly, in my opinion, PSG spring to mind. He's obviously got a lot of money to play around with the French League champions, and of course they are looking to win the Champions League, something that obviously Guardiola has had history with, and obviously something that he would absolutely love to maybe become the first manager to bring that kind of silverware to the French club going forward. So that could be a possibility there. There's maybe the possibility of going to a different league he's not managed in. Serie A springs to mind. Maybe rectifying or resurrecting someone like Juventus. Maybe even resurrecting a bit of a sleeping giant, should we say, in AC Milan. As well. There are a few different challenges out there. A return to Barcelona, even though Hansi Flick is doing an incredible job right now. A return to Barcelona, maybe in like a year to 18 months' time, certainly wouldn't be out the realms of possibility either, if he certainly has that kind of affection and affiliation with the club. So that could be something to look out for as well. And then there's the one that everybody sort of throws in there as well. Maybe the Spanish national team could also be something he looks at as well. Maybe he's looking for a complete change of scenery, and maybe it will be about taking charge of a national team rather than a club team. Maybe he's looking for a completely different challenge altogether. So there is definitely a lot there for us to unpack and to kind of speculate upon, in terms of what may be Guardiola's next move, what may be in City's future, in terms of this allows them another year to 18 months to maybe set up the next manager. There was obviously talk about Ruben Amorim maybe becoming the successor to Pep Guardiola at Manchester City, but as we now know, he is the manager of Manchester United, so maybe the ship has sailed on that one. Xabi Alonso's name has been thrown around in there as well, but again, a lot of people are seemingly suggesting that if things continue to go the way they are going for the Spaniard right now, that Alonso will be going to maybe Real Madrid, a former club of his, of course, so there's that one as well. So it does give Man City more time to maybe make preparations for life after Pep Guardiola, as well as obviously focus on the here and now, as well as focus on the immediate future. Not so the part that's between the here and now and Guardiola leaving, in terms of obviously battling this 115 case, seeing where the chips lie when the judgment is handed down, and seeing what comes next. Where are they going to end up? What league are they going to be in? Are they actually guilty or not guilty of that 115 case? So there's a lot going on right now with Manchester City, and also when you look at off the pitch issues, yes, there are things to consider there, but on the pitch as well, they currently have issues. There's no Rodri. There's seemingly no control in that midfield area. The defence is very, very leaky. The most fragile City defence that I've seen probably since the first season that Guardiola took over Manchester City, in all honesty. And even going forward, they just seemingly can't take their chances right now. Like, they are creating chances, but they seemingly can't take them. And Erling Haaland can't carry that burden of scoring goals on his own. He kind of needs other people to chip in, and not just Josko Gvardiol, the left back of City. So there are a few issues that Pep needs to address as for the here and now. There are a few issues that City need to address as of the here and now, both on and off the pitch. But this will at least maybe settle some nerves in that Manchester City team, in that Manchester City fan base, that Guardiola is looking set to stay on as the City manager for at least another year. And then they can start to focus on the other things, the 115 case, as well as obviously life after Pep Guardiola. But it does seem like this Guardiola-City relationship does have its use-by date set for 2026. Like I say, It's not confirmed. It's not set in stone that will be the case. But it does seem that Guardiola's going to stay on for another year. And then that's it. Because in my opinion, if he wanted to stay on further, he would have committed a longer term contract. He would have asked for 2, 3, 4 years. And let's face it, when you are a manager of Pep's calibre, when you have brought the level of success that he has to Manchester City, you will give him whatever the hell he wants. That is how a top club is run. Take note, Liverpool. Give Mohamed Salah whatever he wants when he's a top player playing at the top of his game. Just saying. Just saying on that. So, yes, I think the City-Pep relationship has its use by date. I think 2026 is going to be the last time that we see Guardiola in the Premier League with at least Manchester City. But those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of this news that Pep Guardiola is set to sign a new deal as the Manchester City manager? Keeping him on for at least another year. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling down below in that comment section. Your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it in regards to City and Guardiola will make for great interesting reading, I'm sure, down below. So please do get involved. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. Thank you all for your continued or brand new support, whichever one it is. It is very much grateful to me, and I love you guys so much. So thank you all for that. I will see you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very soon.